Alright, a big video dropped this morning, the Andy Book Omnibus one. Go and watch that if you haven't already. Now though, I feel kinda exhausted and burnt out. So here is a comic that is simple. It is just a good comic. This is Starhawk. This is that mini-series that gave us the modern Galactical Guardians. This is the final issue, issue 4. Brilliant series. This is essential reading. If you only read one story with the Galactical Guardians, this mini-series should be it. I didn't quite get the cover though. What's with this little Chris Pratt down here? I didn't get that part of it. This book though, other than killing off Life Cry, which I moaned about for a whole video, this is like perfection. We have our team and they are opposing the Borg, who have invaded and taken over the Kree people's planet. Currently, most of the Galactical Guardians team have been captured by the Borg. They are awaiting dissection. The Borg want to experiment on their diverse physiologies. Starhawk, Chris Pratt, he is the leader, and he's not even gone into some wacky church in this one. We also have Groot and Rocky Raccoon from the films, and then Forager, who I reckon has been insulted by not being included in the films. He would really work well and fits with the tone, but he's just not been in them. Then we have our 2 team members who have managed to evade capture. There is Willow, one of the worst characters Marvel have to offer, and Captain Uni-Verse Man, who embarrassingly overshadows all the team with his powers, but he is the only one to not have a future with the team. Together, they hatch a complicated plan involving Captain Uni-Verse Man giving his powers to the Borg. The intent is that the power will return to him afterwards with all the knowledge from the leader of the Borg that it has empowered here. And we have a good bit, but this is not it. Willow, off panel, breaks the rest of the team out from their prison. Did somebody say Mary Sue? Willow is the merriest of Sues. And I truly do stand by calling her a Mary Sue, even with all the negative, toxic, misogynist connotations. If I'm going to be sexist or misogynistic, I want it to be in service of criticising a character as shockingly poor and incontestably awful as Willow. But after this is the bit that I like. The Borg, they respond to one of them becoming cosmically powerful with fear, and they think that it has contaminated their purity, so they just want to exterminate this one Borg who now has godlike powers and only wants to use the powers to continue to serve the Borg. It's a little bit of humour about them as a race being stupid. So the Galactical Guardians, they break out and they have a little shootout with some Kree peoples. But then they find out that the Kree peoples didn't really want to fight them. They are just following their duty as Kree peoples in protecting the building. So instead, they surrender and let the Galactical Guardians pass because they want the Borg to be stopped. And there's a little bit of comedy here about how inconsistent and blindly the Kree peoples follow orders. So then the Borg, they have killed and chopped up that one of them that got Captain Universe Man powers. And then one of their sentries finds the depowered and crippled Captain Universe Man. But fortunately, just in time, the power returns to him. Captain Universe Man, I said he was crippled. He is paralysed from the waist down. He was a war veteran, but the cosmic powers allow him to walk. So then all of the Galactical Guardians, they fight the Borg, and they are able to escape in a spaceship. And they have completed their mission because Captain Universe Man, now he knows the cure to being Borgified from that little gambit that he did with his powers. This is part of a wider crossover with the Borg, so obviously they didn't definitively defeat them in this. But this totally works as a standalone. And the whole crossover is pretty lousy. So I recommend just reading this mini-series. And we end with their mission accomplished and the promise of more Galactical Guardian stories to come with these characters. They gone on to appear in the crossover, and Captain Universe Man dies immediately. And then the team spin off into their own book, where they are finally officially called the Galactical Guardians, and they are joined by Dax and Gonorrhea and some others. Not taking any of that stuff into account, this is a really good mini-series that doesn't get the credit that it deserves. This revamped the Galactical Guardians and made them into the unit we know from the films. The setup from the first film is directly from this. And without this series, we wouldn't have Star-Hawk or Rocky Raccoon or Groot. I didn't know if the creators even get special thanks in the credits to the films. Well, I give this comic special thanks. 7 thumbs up.